Anthony Davis has been a monster in his first series with the Los Angeles Lakers. He averaged 26.1 points, 9.3 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2.3 blocks, and 1.5 steals per game. An absolute stat stuffer. He showed he could play against any style of lineup from small ball in Houston to traditional with Jokic in Denver. He's the most versatile unicorn in the league. As dominant as he was, Anthony Davis can still improve to become a yearly competitor for best player in the league. He's knocking on the door, but he's not quite there yet. So I'm going to break down 3 key areas for Davis to improve so he can cement himself in that conversation. The first thing Davis needs to do is commit to being a center. A lot of people say this, and there is a good reason. Anthony Davis is a top 2 power forward, his only competitor being the reigning MVP, Giannis. AD himself is great as a power forward, but his team becomes even greater when he plays center. A lot of opposing forces these days can play on the perimeter, and Davis really has no problem trailing them. But being out at the 3-point line lessens AD's ability to deter shots at the rim. AD was out chasing players at the 3-point line was a moment where opposing guards felt more comfortable driving into the lane. Sticking to center will usually keep him protecting the paint. There are a few players in lineups who can play 5 out to combat this, but usually those aren't lineups that you will see for 48 minutes a night. These playoffs again have shown why it's important to have dominant centers. From Jokic to Gobert to Bam Adebayo, they all had their turn in the spotlight to save their respective teams. Davis is one of the only players well equipped to defend any of these big names. Offensively, Davis is too fast and his face-up game is too good for slower centers to keep up. He can easily put his defender in foul trouble, as we've seen all playoffs. A key stat that shows how difficult it is for centers to keep up is 3-point shooting. In the regular season, AD shot 44% on threes when guarded by a center. In the playoffs, that number has so far been 55%. It's really not fair how quick and agile the Lakers star is. He can quickly lose his primary defender if they aren't paying attention or catch them off guard with a quick shot or move. The second area that Davis needs to improve is his post game. So Anthony Davis has a lot of scoring moves that are simply eye candy. He plays like a wing in the body of a center. He fades away, does dribble pull-ups, drives to the basket, and spots it from 3. Those are great moves that make him nearly unguardable at all times if he can get his position. That's what makes him a unicorn. To become the best offensive player in the league, AD should further develop his post-game to severely punish any smaller player put on him. In the regular season, Davis shot poorly on traditional post moves. AD shot 30% on turnaround fadeaways and 43% on hook shots. Davis should not subject himself to a beating by pounding the post every game, but improving those 2 moves give him even more counters to punish defenses. Imagine a 7-footer that you can't leave open from anywhere on the court, can create his own shot off the dribble, and dominate down low against other bigs when his shot is just not falling. Davis's face-up game is lethal. He needs to shore up his post moves to become the true focal point of an offensive attack. The third thing that Davis needs to improve is his passing. So as alluded to before, AD is an excellent creator for himself. Although not bad, he still has room to grow as a passer. Davis can make most basic passes and frequently finds the open man when he is doubled. I have, however, noticed some key issues that he has. AD prefers to quickly pass out when he becomes doubled or in a difficult spot, and doing so welcomes the pressure further because it's an easy way for opposing teams to get him out of his rhythm. What Anthony Davis should instead do is practice some patience. The Miami Heat implemented a tactic where they would send a help defender immediately once a pass was in the air on its way to Davis. Doing so quickly put AD in a funky spot he did not know how to get out of. In these situations, he became really ineffective compared to when he plays comfortably. So improving his passing game also allows the Lakers to further split his and LeBron's minutes without stagnating the offense. Because when LeBron's off the court, AD really needs someone to pass him the ball, get him in a good spot. If he does that himself and does it for others, then it's going to be a different ball game. And speaking of LeBron, he's the perfect player to mentor AD in understanding correct passing under heavy defensive pressure. The last thing that I truly believe AD needs to improve is aggressiveness. So this last bit is probably more important as LeBron James ages. Anthony Davis needs to get used to demanding the ball and constantly being in attack mode. AD will sometimes be a victim of disappearing for some stretches. He makes good off-ball moves and makes great defensive plays, but when he isn't creating shots, the pressure he puts on the opposing team is just not the same. Luckily, having one of the top 2 greatest players of all time as your running mate allows you to take a backseat from time to time. But as LeBron is nearing the end of his career, AD will need to understand how to run a team as the alpha. If the Lakers want any more titles in the future, he will need to be ready to take over games on every and any given night. He disappeared here and there in the playoffs, and the team took big hits because of that. True superstars cannot afford to be passive. Changing to a Mamba mentality will put him up one more level. So what do you think about the video? Is my analysis correct? Let me know in the comments below, and also give me your take on the area Anthony Davis needs to be improving on to be the best player in the league. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you really enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button because it's going to help me out a lot. And if you're a big Lakers fan, I am a Lakers only channel, so if you want some Lakers content hitting your feed, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can check out my videos when they come out. Anyways, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Go Lakers. Peace.